Hey everyone, we're the Hatch Homes Group. Thanks for joining us on our market update. This is the first real market update of the new year of 2022. And there has actually been some changes, like some newsworthy things going on already in this first few weeks of 2022. So let's dive into with Johnny, our
the big news.
Stats.
Yeah. So the average home price, $570,000. Inventory. I was thinking about the inventory right here. It's that 0.6.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
Far down. I think that's lowest in history.
The lowest in history.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, if you just look at these last 3 years, 3.3, 2.7, and then let's look at this 0.6
number right there.
We thought at 0.8, we were like, oh, it can't get lower.
That's 0.8 was the lowest it's been. It was since
we had a few months. Yeah. We had
like it's been, I mean, we've all felt it, right?
I think the interesting thing is we think with super low inventory that it's because there's not enough listings. But in fact, over the past 12 months, we've had 5.1% more listings than the previous 12 months. So, that there's this increased activity that's causing the low inventory.
Yeah, we're gonna we'll talk, but we were gonna talk a little bit about.
By the way, I'm gonna interrupt. I haven't told this, but the stats are out for the past year, and Keller Williams Realty Professionals, our market center, was the number one office in Portland for last year. Do you know what the volume was?
Yes.
The volume in transactions?
I don't have it, but
$1,500 million.
Wow.
And countrywide, 1 in 4.6 transactions were Keller Williams transactions.
Oh, wow.
That's why we're here, right? Surround ourselves with all those amazing high-producing people.
Yeah. And I mean, we think our inventory is pretty low, and it is, but when you're looking at the rest of the country, we're relatively cool compared to besides Idaho, because I don't know what happened there. They've been like this total conundrum.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Idaho sticks out there. And what seems to have happened, there's been a flood of investors or a flood of California people, particularly moving into Idaho. We're doing remote work, and there's been incredible rises in sale prices, but that's dried up to some extent, and now we see this reversal in the inventory. Plenty of inventory there now, and we think we've seen record low inventories, but look at these numbers. Look at California. And especially those red ones, Florida,
Vermont, negative 50, almost 51%. Like, you must really not have any houses for sale. It must be really hard there.
Yeah, I mean, and then again, this is year over year change, so not inventory levels.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, like John was saying, like, even though we have record low inventory, we still have a lot of activity, like the 5.1% increase of actual sales. And this graph is showing like the number of showings have increased. I mean, if you look at pre-pandemic, like even in 2018, we've almost doubled the amount of showings and activity since then. And so it's not really slowing down. It's just an inventory.
Yeah, this is why we have low inventory, because there's more people buying it up. Like
exactly.
There's more demand. Demand, is still very, very high.
Yeah. And I think that is going in line with mortgage rate projections, right? Because as we predict them going up, more people are going to rush to try to get locked into something, right?
Right.
Yeah. And, we talked about this on our projections, and, we were saying, we've been looking at like all these different, experts and what they're projecting. It looks like Freddie Mac has, I believe, been the most accurate. They said interest rates were going to shoot up pretty quickly, and they did. And yeah. And
I think we thought
quicker.
I think that there's a lot of factors that go into that, but definitely it happened sooner than I think anyone predicted.
Yeah. And I think with this, just to like, put in perspective, when this happened, I had a few transactions, one where, I had on one of my listings, I had a buyer that was pretty low dollar. And with the interest rates, they were really tight on what they could afford. With that interest rate push, it immediately made it so they couldn't afford the house anymore. And so that was like, really, really sad. I had some buyers that, they were fine, but they were like crying because they're, before they could lock their loan, the interest rates ticked up, but they could still afford it. So I think that the lower price point are really going to be the most affected by this shift in interest rates right now.
Yeah.
And yes, because they're very tight on affordability. And, obviously no one's going to be happy that the interest rates went up in the higher price points, but they can afford it. And what was that?
Go ahead.
It was interesting. I was on a webinar on Friday with Altos. Altos do data analysis. They're probably the biggest company for analyzing data and showing exactly what's producing indexes, showing what's happening with all sorts of things about real estate. And we follow their reports. But they did a survey on that webinar. There were hundreds of agents from all over the country. And they did a survey. They asked what percentage rate, what level would it have to go to have a significant effect on the market. And the number with the most responses was 4%.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess the point is talk to your lender when you're in the process of buying and you're not locked yet. You just want to get estimates for a higher percentage rate because they're likely to go up before you can lock. So if you're looking right now and you're really tight and you're shopping at the top of your budget, you really need to account for a small percentage rate difference. So talk to your lender about that and make sure that they're giving you that estimate so you know that you can afford what's going on.
Yeah, that's so important. I'm
so important.
saying all my buyers right now, don't pick a lender right now because they give you the lowest interest rate, which so many people do. They get pre-approved with a few lenders, like, oh, this lender gave me the lowest, right? No, go with a lender that's giving you realistic numbers because they will actually help you a little bit more than somebody that's just trying to get your business by quoting you low.
Totally. That's so important.
We need realism right now. We need real true professionals.
Yeah. Like us. So, if you're ready, if you're thinking about buying or selling, we need you. First of all, please reach out to us. We have proven strategies that work for people, whatever your situation is. If you're buying now or selling or in 6 months from now, we can sit down with you and talk about where you're at and how to succeed in this market, because we've been doing it for a long time and shifting through every market change we've been through. So reach out to us. We are your trusted professionals. And thank you again for listening, and Happy New Year. Here we go, 22.
Thanks all.